How would you like to see Zion Canyon of famed Zion National Park, but without all the crowds? If that sounds intriguing to you, then stick around and we'll take you on a virtual hike to what's known as Eagle Crags for some epic views. This hiking trail climbs the ridge to the south of Zion Canyon, which is known as the Canaan Mountain Wilderness. Along the trail, you'll see some awesome views of Zion Canyon with all of its surrounding peaks, like the Sentinel and West Temple. The trail is well defined and easy to follow. It has a gradual incline, isn't very rough, nor does it pass any hair-raising drop-offs, such as other infamous hikes in Zion. It passes through a lot of desert flora common in this transition zone between the Mojave Desert and the Colorado Plateau. While on this hike, you'll also see Zion Canyon's little brother, Parunaweep Canyon, which was carved out by the East Fork of the Virgin River. Eagle Crags itself is a very prominent feature or landmark south of Zion Canyon's gateway town of Springdale. It's also very noticeable when driving up here from Interstate 15. To get to the trailhead for Eagle Crags, start by taking Highway 9, which is the main road to Zion and Springdale, to the town of Rockville. Find Bridge Road on the east side of town and then turn south. This is also the road that leads to the ghost town of Grafton, which makes for a fun little side trip. Before heading down this road for the trailhead, one word of warning: you'll need a high clearance vehicle. You probably won't need four-wheel drive, but it will help. If you have a regular vehicle or sedan, you're going to bang up your vehicle's undercarriage on the rocky portion of the road. Also, don't attempt going here if it recently has rained or snowed a lot. The road will be very muddy and not enjoyable. If you try it, you'll get very, very muddy. If you don't want to risk your vehicle and would like to take a guided tour of this place instead, go to greaterziontours.net on the web and book their Eagle Crags tour. Tell them that you heard about their tour from backroadswest.com. If you do, they might do something special for you. You can see the turnoff here on a street map from Gaia GPS. See our website's blog at backroadswest.com for a discount code to this outstanding mapping and navigation tool for both hiking and driving back roads. After turning off Highway 9, you'll cross over the road's namesake, a bridge. This historic bridge was built in the 1920s and was originally used to link Zion National Park with the Grand Canyon's North Rim. It was replaced in 1930 with the famous Zion Mount Carmel Tunnel. Shortly after crossing the bridge, bear left or straight onto this road that climbs the mountainside ahead. The main road, which makes a 90-degree right turn, heads to the ghost town of Grafton and famed Gooseberry Mesa. Continuing straight to Eagle Crags, soon you'll be climbing this very steep road with lots of bumpy washboard. If you have four-wheel drive, engage it now. Either way, enjoy the bumpy ride over the washboard. Looking to the left will get you great views of the small valley below that Rockville sits in. In the distance, you'll see Zion Canyon and the town of Springdale come into view. What you're seeing here is a preview of what's to come on the hike. Although the view of the canyon is pretty spectacular here, it's even more spectacular from just below Eagle Crags. Keep going straight. The road will get very rough and rocky. After just under 2 miles, which doesn't seem far, but on a road like this it is, you'll reach the trailhead. You can't miss it. Our tour of Eagle Crags starts at the trailhead of the same name. We will soon hit the trail and head towards Eagle Crags, seen here in the distance. At the trailhead is parking for about 6 to 8 vehicles, as well as one of Utah's famous pit toilets that are always clean and have plenty of toilet paper, barring no runs on TP, no pun intended, such as during COVID. There's also an informative kiosk with a map of the area. In some places, the trail consists of dirt and sand, and in other places, it is a bit rocky. We recommend that you come prepared with your hiking boots or shoes to hike in this type of terrain. In one direction, the trail is 2 to 3 miles long, with a roughly 800-foot elevation gain, spread out pretty evenly throughout the trail's length. We can hike as far as you'd like. At any point, we can turn around and go back the way we came. The great thing about this hike is its incredible views. Starting off, you'll see the long, narrow, and colorful valley carved out by the Virgin River just west of Zion National Park. One hazard you'll find while hiking the Eagle Crags trail is you'll want to stop often to look at the views in all the directions. There's lots of fabulous scenery to look at. Because the trail is in a transition zone between desert and mountain plateau, it passes by a wide variety of flora, including all kinds of cacti, juniper, and pine trees. After about a mile or so of hiking, a good portion of Zion Canyon will come into view. Unless you're up in the air or on a mountaintop, there is really no way to see Zion Canyon as a whole, like this, except for on this hiking trail. Here's a panoramic view that you'll see from the Pine Valley Mountains near St. George to the west, then all the way into Zion Canyon. Way at the end is Observation Point. This is what it looks like from the top of that iconic hike in Zion. And way over here is Eagle Crags. Over here is Angel's Landing, which is one of the more popular hikes inside Zion. This is Lady Mountain that towers high above Emerald Pools. And over here is the Sentinel. This is West Temple. It is one of the highest points in Zion. You can spot West Temple when you first pop out of the Virgin Gorge on Interstate 15, or when you drive up to Cedar Breaks National Monument from Cedar City. After we hike further up the trail along Eagle Crags, Parunaweep Canyon will come into view. Parunaweep is also known as the Barracks. From a few of the viewpoints we'll stop at, you'll see remains of the ghost town of Shunnasburg. This view into Parunaweep is special because all of this land is off limits. The land is owned by the late Paul Allen and his estate. He was the founder of Microsoft with his partner, what's his name again? Oh yeah, Bill Gates. The other way to access Parunaweep is to endure a very long and arduous hike from Highway 89. You can see it on YouTube by searching for Parunaweep or The Barracks. Our buddy Yamel Green has the best video in our opinion. Parunaweep is basically another Zion Narrows, but without all the people. To get that view of Parunaweep in the distance, there's this ridge that juts out to the left. Having Gaia GPS on your phone really helps a lot to find this point. Walk on this ridge a little ways to get great views of both Parunaweep and Zion. Continue on the main trail another half mile, or as long as you wish. The further you go, the closer you get to Eagle Crags. Also, along this segment, when you look back towards Parunaweep, you'll see a body of water. This is Trees Ranch Reservoir and is within Paul Allen's property discussed earlier. From here, this trail actually goes quite a ways further, all the way over Keenan Mountain and down into Water Canyon, another popular hike near the towns of Hilldale and Colorado City. From just below Eagle Crags and hiking about 2.2 miles from the trailhead, here's one last panorama of the area. starting from Pine Valley Mountains, which is about 30 miles away, West Temple and Zion Canyon, the canyon not really being visible anymore, Johnson Mountain and the Watchman, which is a prominent feature above Springdale, Parunaweep, Transview Mountain, and finally, Canaan Mountain. And one last thing, a little more about Eagle Crags. The most prominent crag is called Thule Tower, formerly called Mrs. Butterworth. You can be the judge if this spire really looks like a jar of pancake syrup. We hope you enjoyed our virtual hike up to Eagle Crags and the views of Zion Canyon. Naturally, pictures and video give no justice to the real scenery that one sees when they take this hike themselves. As always, to get more detailed information about this hike, go to our blog at backroadswest.com/blog and search for Eagle. Here you'll find step-by-step driving and hiking directions. Now that you've learned one more trip idea from us, we bid you happy exploring.